Hello, everybody. Just trying to get set up. Haven't done this in a very long time. I'm not even sure I have it all set up correctly. So bear with me. I apologize if it's well, it's not gonna be professional. So first time setting all this up in about 3 years. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna do is create a hex stake and been wanting to do a 15-week challenge and essentially get people to start staking hex. Um, I think that things like the whole purpose of PulseChain and that whole ecosystem was to use the hex contract, and I'm not sure people are doing it as much as they should. So just want to encourage everybody to get out there, and this is not financial advice, obviously, but get out there and stake your hex and use the contract. That's ultimately what all this was for. So right now I have the wrapped pulse, or it's just this is the pulse chain chart. Had a nice little dip, and the reason why I I've been waiting to do it is I've actually been buying this dip. So I bought right around here. I believe in DCA, so if you follow my channel, 720 Art Crypto on Twitter, I try to promote, buying DCA, buying dips. Hex is a long-term asset for me. I've been making 15-year stakes for the last 5 years. So I do have a staking ladder where I basically have stakes coming out on my birthday, at least once a year for every 15 years, and that started 5 years ago. And I took a little bit of a break from making mistakes over the last 3 years. Everything was just kind of going down. Um, just kind of took a break. Like everybody was so so vicious online that I ended up creating another account, not crypto related at all. And so been kind of watching it and decided that over the last 3 months, basically, it was time for me to start DCAing again and get back in here. I'm trying to find the chat. I don't really know if you're watching. Uh, say something in the chat. I'm not sure if this is working or not. Can you see this? Um, Let me know. Think we've got like one person watching, so yeah, I didn't really set this up. Not expecting a whole bunch of people, but if you're in there and you see that, that'd be cool. If you respond, or if you can't hear me, or if there's an issue, just let me know. All right. Hey, what's up? Greetings. Yes, everything looks good and volume is good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, like I was saying earlier, is I haven't done this in, I think my last video was like 3 years ago. So um, yeah, I am back. I am back. I needed a break. Crypto's a lot. I was full blown in it, and it was exhausting. It was exhausting, and then the market was just crashing. So I went out to the mountains, and I was just chilling out there for the last couple of years. I've recently moved though, set up in a new spot. I'll be here for a while and trying to be more active and back in the community. I think that Richard Hart, he's been going through a lot with the SEC lawsuit, and there was just a lot going on at once. So yeah, I think everybody. I'm not sure everybody took a break, but I definitely needed one, and so I'm back. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of again make a steak. So I started this last week, but I'm literally in the middle of moving, so I didn't have any furniture. I still don't have like any furniture in my house. First thing I did was get my desk kind of set up. Um, so last week I made a 555 steak. Let's see, share this tab. So let's see if that switches over. So I'm trying to show my staking ladder. Not sure if this is working. Yeah, cool. So this is the account. I'll post the account online so people can follow along. I'm basically just doing $25 at a time. And right now, $25 is 2,300 hex. I found that by going to PulseX and then just typing in $25. So 2,300 hex, I'm going to stake. And this week will be 14 years. So come over here. We're going to do 2,300 hex. Is that right? 23? Yeah, 2,300 hex, 25 bucks. It's not a lot of money right now. I have stakes that, I started staking on day 3 of launch. Or maybe day 4 was my first 555. And I think I did have like some like penny, like some like dollar stakes. I was just trying to figure it out. I was trying to make sure everything worked. Um, but some of the $20 stakes that I made 5 years ago, they've turned into several $100s. So I'm gonna make just a 2,300 $25 stake. That's what I'm calling it, the lunch money staking ladder. And let's see, I gotta figure out the math of 14 years. So I'm gonna use my fingers. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, I think is right. Does that sound good to you guys? 39, 2039. And I'm going to do November because that's when my birthday is. I'm trying to do it for November 1st, 2029. I think this is right. Let's see. So this is the one that I did last week. And this ends on, yeah, 2040. So that was just a 555. And this one I'm going to do for November 2039. So I'm going to go down here and stake it. And confirm. And so again, I'm just going to do this so it's visible for everybody. And I don't know, maybe it's like the pizza thing when somebody, I think it was Hexologist bought a pizza like 5 years ago or something like that. And anyways, we can basically follow along and see what $25 uh, a week for the next 15 weeks earns me over the next 15 years. So this was 0.25 T shares, and this account currently has half a T share. Uh, if you know anything about T shares, I think there's a lot more to the Hex contract than people understand. At the very beginning, it was all about T shares and it was about staking and using the contract when it was on Ethereum. And my personal opinion is when PulseChain was launched and then we had the copy, I think there was just a lot of going on and with the launch as well, or all the SAC phases. I think everybody blew all their dry powder. I certainly did. That was another reason, you asked me, Hexander, if I think I've seen your name right, Alexander. I was gone back from the dead. Man, I put all my money I had into the Sats, and I think that's what a lot of people did. And there was no more money to buy. Like me and everybody that I knew, I got everybody to, sat for PulseChain, and then there was I don't even remember how like the order like the other sacks, and basically everybody just got, you know we went all in on all these and just ran out of money essentially. And everybody was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to invest until something, happens with, a lot of people bought the top of Hex, or towards the top of Hex. And then there was sack after sack after sack. And so I think everybody just kind of got over invested and we're just waiting for returns. And so, as you can see on the chart, everybody just, everybody stopped buying. And I'm one of those people. Um, you know, everybody put in their sack, and let's share this for you. This is the hex chart. Let's go to the rat pulse. Um, I mean, it's clear that just it was everybody was bled dry. Um, Again, I was one of those people, so that's kind of everybody was just waiting for it to do something, and then it kind of started to pump here, and then it dumped back down. And my personal opinion is Richard Hart, he shook out the whales that were in over here. The person that's been dumping on us, I think he refused to do anything until they were out essentially. I mean, clearly. So, I basically have been waiting this whole time, and now we're buying back below SAC prices, and so I'm definitely back in. I have quite a bit of EX, then it was copied, and so I've got quite a bit of EHEX and PHEX. I don't think EHEX is going to die. That's something that has been rumored about. Let's see. I think the last video from you, you had an excellent review. Yeah, yeah. I used to live in Colorado. Yeah, I've moved around quite a bit. At the top of the last, well, I guess the first hex pump when we were over here, you can't even like fit it in the screen. Um, good, working. Basically, when we were at the top up here, yeah, I was in Colorado, and I had a pretty ballin' pad. Since then, everything just went away. So, I had to scale back on my lifestyle. I wasn't somebody that was dumping on everybody. I don't have that much. Like when it first launched, I was like DCAing every paycheck that I could, whether it was like $100, $50. But I did that for the first whole year, like before anything actually took off. So back here is when I bought every single week for this whole first year. So when it took off, that's when I moved to Colorado, and then I was, you know, it was pretty sick. I kind of just took out what I needed. I had a bunch of stakes, so I wasn't, I didn't sell it all. But then once everything started going down, my lifestyle had to change. So yeah, basically have been well, I took off some time from work too. I mean, I had enough money to where I could live without working, and I was working when all this was going on. I didn't just like quit working fully. I was doing software consulting, and so I made pretty decent money with that as well. But that mixed in with the hex, it was definitely nice mountain hexes and stuff like that. um Now I'm not living like that, but the plan is to live like that again. And so, yeah, still staking, and still believe in it. So we will see what happens. But yeah, I hope I'll try to do better next week with people, or advertising this. Like, again, I kind of just threw all this together this morning before I was headed to work. And I kind of just want to put this out there and get people to start staking again, and using the contract. I've started staking on my own personal accounts as well again. Um, and so yeah, I just want to kind of see people staking, and hopefully we can turn this back into something that that it once was, and I think we can. I think we will, and I think that Richard will he'll assist, and I think he'll be able to now that the SEC is pretty much over with. So, all right, it's over with. Well, thanks for stopping by, Alexander, and the other person that's in here. Appreciate you guys sticking around, and I'll be around on Twitter. So, yep, you guys have a great weekend, and see you later.